Good morning. How are you, champions? Coach Tina here. State, story, strategy. I just want to know, which one are you stuck on? Yeah, because clarity without action is just noise. And action without strategy, that's stress, right? So the reality is, even moms burn out. It's not just in work, but it is in life as well. And so that's what we want to avoid. Okay. We do not want to burn out in our life for sure. In fact, one of the things they say is that depression is just being tired of being who you are, not in the sense of like, oh, I'm giving up, in the sense of that person, that identity, you're struggling with it so much that you can't be all of those things or that thing anymore. No, the reality is authenticity is the answer. And guess what? Being you is so easy, right? You just have to let go of what other people think about you or what you think other people think about you, your expectations that maybe you're even putting on yourself, and just be the person you're meant to be. Let your greatness shine, right? That is truly the key. So if you don't know me, I am Coach Tina, and I am the founder of the Empowering Champions community. We have been operational for over 5 years now. It kind of blows me away just even to say that. So wonderful community. It started out as just a how can I give back? And it still gets to be that way. I had a heart to serve, a heart to help people learn, share, and grow their greatness. And we just moved forward with how can I get all the information that I have been bringing into my world out to you guys and make it useful and fun and something we can actually take action on. Because I was realizing after, a lot of years that my way of doing things has always been about getting the information. Education is where I was given the most attention. So that always made me feel like I needed to do the things. And instead, I didn't take the actions. That's where I failed. And so this last 5 years has been about leaning into the uncomfortable, leaning into more of my own authenticity, and learning how to actually not just have dreams, but to move towards them, to make progress, to do the things that really do matter. So, today we're going to do 3 things, but we have been doing 3 things in this series that I put together. And that is, it's 3 weeks called Make Your Move. Nope, Make Your Move. Oh, I still did it wrong. Make Your Move. If my move was pointing in the right direction on the screen, we wouldn't be doing very well, would we? But making your move is a phrase that Tony Robbins likes to do. We just got out of UPW, right? He says, make your move. And you, whatever move is your move, you make it. And it's a conditioned reaction to taking action, doing what you say you're going to do, building it in your body in such a way that it is not a hesitation. It's a boom, I'm doing this. So that's an example of what Tony likes to call, which is what my 3 weeks together with you have been, state, story, strategy. And we talked all about state, of course, beautiful state, the presence of mind. It's the way you feel about things. When people are energetic and passionate and excited about life, they carry themselves differently than people who are sad, frustrated, tired, lonely, depressed, right? It's a different presence. And who do you want to be around more? Yeah, probably the person who's full of energy and playing full out. That is state. And what Tony says is we have to be in a great state all the time. Now, not that everything isn't going to get to you anymore. It's just in a snap of the fingers, you recognize you can come out of that state and be in a state that is more life-giving, that's more affirming, that makes you feel better. And it's all based on what he calls the second element, which is story. Now, we tell ourselves stories, we live in stories, we are stories, and that our identity is the story of the next level of who we are assuming and who we are becoming, like the role we're going to play in the next movie if we were actors in life. And so we all have our stories. And the question that we ask a lot is, are you happy with that story? Or is it just kind of commonplace? Oh, well, whatever. And you want to bring it up to the next level. And there's always a next level. Everybody's life, no matter where you are on the spectrum, there's a place where you can get a little bit higher. You can do a little bit more. Because if we just stay at the baseline, we get bored, we get tired, and we don't want to be there. And so that's our story. And basically, if you have a high state, you have a exciting, compelling story, and the strategy will come to you like you're a lighthouse, and it is bringing people towards you because it's safe, because it's beckoning, right? So they can not have to deal with the fog anymore. They can navigate straight to you. And you as well, if we think about it on an energetic level, the strategies, the solutions will come to us. It's that moment where, like, when you're having a pity party on yourself, how likely are you to get a solution right in that moment? No, it's when you're doing something that sparks in you some life. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's what I could do. Now, if we train ourselves to stay in that negative state with the bad story, we're never going to get to the part where we can get the strategy that solves everything for us. Okay. Now, the strategy is the how. And Tony likes to say, don't get stuck in the tyranny of how. A lot of people see what they do wrong is they do this system backwards. They try to figure out the strategy and then build the story around that. And then they go into state thinking that they're going to come up with a solution and it's going to make them somebody great. And then they're going to be and feel a certain way. And Tony just says, no, do it the opposite. The strategy will come later, because what happens with our strategy, like, let's just say it's technology, that we're trying to do something, new business, new tech. And the strategy, if it's what keeps you stuck and you can't do your website and you can't figure out AI and you can't do this, the story becomes negative and unmotivating. And so you never get in the right state. You never get to feel the thing you were hoping to feel. Remember, when we have big achievements on our horizon, it's not that we want the thing, because the thing goes away eventually. What we want is the feeling. How do we access the feeling? And it's really cool when you start to think that way, because you can just shut down the middleman, all that stuff you have to do in between, and just go for the feeling. What's the feeling you really want? And then what are things you could do right now to get that feeling? And then you're going to be in a great place anyway. And then you're not going to need to do all the steps in between. The tyranny of how disappears. Now, a new challenge will come, because that's what life is, a series of challenges, because that's how we grow. Okay. Oh, I'm on my, what do they say? My soap horse, my soapbox. Soap horse. That doesn't make any sense, does it? But now we're going to talk about strategy in the sense of, we've already covered state, we've already covered story, and now we have strategy. Okay. Well, Tony's number one tool, and the tool that I love and am embracing to the full, every time I slip away from it, I come back to it because I know that it is the answer. And that is a term you've heard me use before, which is RPM. Okay. Tony's rapid planning method. It's a life system for managing how you do things, how you want to do things, where you're going to go in your life. And the main thing that it does is it provides clarity on the outcomes that you're wanting to have, because it cuts through all the overwhelm. When you can get to that point where clarity is like, there's a focus point, you know what you're doing, that will eliminate a lot of stuckativeness. Okay. So what happens with RPM? the simplest terms. You say, this is the outcome that I want to have. And you have a circle. You basically write on a piece of paper the outcome you want, and you circle it, because that's like the target, like the archer shooting at the target. They go, the circles and inside the circles until there's just a little dot that you're shooting for. And because what we know at the brain is that the smaller the dot, the more likely you are to focus on it, and the more likely that you're going to hit the middle that way. So same thing goes in your life. When you are focused and you know exactly what you want and you're going after it, the how is naturally going to come to you, because you're chipping away at things. You're figuring it out. You're getting closer and closer. Okay. Now, what if you're just overwhelmed and you're like, I have no how. I have no idea how to do what I need to do. Okay. Well, then you start to ask yourself, okay, what's in my hand? Okay. What am I able to do? You put your skills into action. That's why it's so important that you keep building on personal development and adding skills into your inventory, because you never know when the opportunity is going to come for you to step into a new role, because you already have the skills, right? Like I thought about this once before with like God. I was praying, God, let me do this, let me do this, let me do this. And I had this vision of like when your teenager is asking for the keys to the car, like they want to drive so bad, but they have no clue how to drive, right? They're still on their bicycle. And so you wouldn't like hand them the keys to your car and be like, go for it, you got this, just because they want it really bad. No, they have to be trained. They have to have the skill set to drive before you give them the keys. And it's just like that. Like we're praying, we want this, we want this, we want this. And God's saying, okay, get the skills so that when I give you the car keys, I know you're not going to crash the car. Because as a loving father or parent, you wouldn't do that. As much as you love them, you're not going to let them hurt themselves. So what skills do you have that you can put in action right now? What skills are you building on so that when the right moment is there, you've got something to do about it, right? So I'm getting ready very soon to go to Africa. We've got 2 weeks before the trip. And they came to us, the people that organize it, and said, we have more kids than we have scholarship money for. Is there any chance you guys could scholarship some more kids? So I'm putting my hand out at this point to ask, like I'm asking the question, how could I earn more money towards a scholarship? What could I do to help the situation at hand? And so I am doing more breath work. I'm doing the different things that I know could get me some extra income this month. Chris and I are trading on the market, and I'm like, it's not too hard to put my money out there and do a few trades between now and Easter, basically, and being able to get the money that I need for the scholarships for the kids. That would be really cool. So what does that have to do with anything? Well, I really think that building a strategy, like there is a formula, but the main thing behind it is heart and passion and devotion and like that sense of purpose that's so important. And I say that because I got contacted by one of our members this week, and it stood out to me because she said, I have had a concussion, an injury to my brain that is causing me a lot of issues. She's from another country that does, they provide healthcare. And she said that because of the damage that happened to her, they recognize she needs to be seen and worked on with their brain specialists. But because of their system, it's going to be next summer before she can get an appointment with them. And she said, you know what? That's not going to work. I can't not do this for the next year. And so she's taken it upon herself to go out and fundraise so that she can get the healthcare she needs, so that she can continue working the way that she feels is her gifting. And I was so excited to talk to her. We had a meeting, And, I wanted to know more about her. I wanted to know what was happening. And so what's really cool is she is from Denmark. Her name is Brigitte. I hope I didn't say that wrong. And she is a soccer like mindset coach. And so she works with young soccer players that are wanting to go into European soccer teams. And she's been working with them for 18 years. And she says it's not about their size or even their, and I'm sure the ability is there, but she said it's about the personal drive that they have, not their ego, but about who they are at the core. And she works with them so that they don't feel that they're not going to succeed. Now, ironically, my baby's birthday is today, and my baby boy, Avery, was a diehard soccer player from the age of 8. And even now, when he gets a chance, he'll go play soccer. I would have loved to have had someone like this in his life when he needed it most, because we went to college, on the visitation type things, and we went over to see the soccer team, and the boys were senior boys, right? And my son looked at them and said, Mom, I'm not ready for this. They're big, and I'm never going to be that big, and they're fast, and look at all those muscles. And he sold himself short, broke my heart, because from 8 years old, he had said he was going to be a pro player. That was in his heart. Everywhere we went, everybody knew Avery was into soccer. Everybody, like everybody in the school, when all the boys went to play football, Avery stayed in the soccer team. He was just like, I don't understand this. We got to play soccer. So what I would like to ask the community is to take a look at more information on Brigitte. I took a video with her, and I'm going to post it as an event tomorrow. So you're welcome to listen to the video and hear a little bit more about her and what she's doing. And maybe something that could be helpful to her, because I know as a community here, we want to be helpful to each other. We want to empower champions, right? She has put together a GoFundMe. She is very close to meeting her goal. And I always like to say every little bit helps. It might be a small amount that you can provide, but it isn't just for her, right? It's for you. Tony likes to say the secret to living is giving. So if you have anything that you can provide that would be helpful, we can be love to her, and we can be light to her. We can be an inspiration to her. We can lift up prayer for her. And if you have it in your pocketbook, we could make a little donation. That would be amazing. I'll put the video up tomorrow. And so I hope you'll take a look at it and really get to see. Now, if you're interested in doing something with the breath work that I have coming up, many of you have been responding that it is amazing and that it's life-changing work as well. And I would love to have you join me. We're going to meet on an evening session on Thursday, whatever this coming Thursday is. And it'll be in the evening time. I should know this. Check the events, and you'll be able to attend. Just message me if it's of interest. And really, what I want you to do at this point, we are in the last week of March, you guys. You know that our whole point of this community is setting our goals and making progress on them. So if you set a goal at the beginning of the month, even if you didn't, if you want to set a goal right now, and then what are you going to do to meet that goal? What steps could you take? Take one step as soon as we finish this call. Take one step that you're committed to this week. Comment back and let us know you completed your goal. Would love to see and celebrate you for what you're doing. And then I hope that you get a chance to make your move. Okay, we'll see you soon, hopefully on Thursday, but definitely next week. We're going into a new series next week, and I'll be telling you more about it soon.